The door was unlocked. That was the first wrong thing. Christmas Eve. Snow still melting on my boots. Laughter leaking through the walls like something rotten pretending to be sweet. I stepped inside without knocking, the smell of pine and champagne hitting me at the same time. Then I saw him. My son was on his knees. No shirt, no pants, just underwear and red hands, raw from soap and water. A bucket beside him. A brush too big for his fingers. He scrubbed the hardwood floor in tight circles, lips pressed together, eyes down, silent, practiced. 10 feet away, my wife sat on the couch with her parents, laughing. Their grandchildren, ripped wrapping paper under the tree. Toys everywhere, noise, joy, cameras out. My mother-in-law lifted her glass, mid-toast, eyes sparkling. No one noticed me at first. I stood there and felt something inside me lock into place. Not anger, precision. I crossed the room, every step measured. The floor stopped creaking when I reached him. My son flinched when my shadow fell over the bucket. I knelt, picked him up. He smelled like bleach. That's when I spoke. 5 words. "I think we're done here." The room froze. My mother-in-law's hand trembled. The champagne glass slipped, shattered against the floor my son had been scrubbing moments earlier. No one chased me. They just stared. 3 days later, my phone showed 47 missed calls. I never listened to the voicemails. The signs hadn't started that night. They'd been there for years, hiding behind smiles and holiday photos. Little corrections. Quiet rewrites of reality. He should help out more. It builds character. You're too soft with him. I worked long hours, trusted too easily. When my wife suggested we spend Christmas Eve at her parents' place for tradition, I agreed. When a last-minute emergency pulled me away for work, she didn't protest. She sounded relieved. That should have bothered me more. Instead, what bothered me was how my son stopped talking about Christmas, how he learned to fold towels like a soldier, how he asked permission before sitting down. I told myself it was discipline. I told myself a lot of things. The truth arrived quietly, the way it always does. Not with proof, at first, but with alignment, memories snapping into place, conversations replaying with different meaning. I checked her phone while she slept. Nothing obvious. That was the problem? I checked records, messages archived, numbers saved under women's names that weren't women. A calendar event marked simply as family help every Thursday. Always at her parents' address. Always when I was gone. I watched, I waited, and I realized something worse than infidelity was unfolding. This wasn't carelessness. It was coordinated. My wife wasn't protecting our son. She was offering him. I didn't confront her. I prepared. The investigator confirmed what my instincts already knew. No affair, no lover. Something colder. Documents. Messages between adults. Who never used my son's name, only the boy. Language stripped of humanity. Agreements disguised as discipline guidance. Financial transfers labeled support. Not abuse in the way people expect. Worse, consent. My wife had agreed that my son would be corrected at her parents' house, labor, humiliation, conditioning, all framed as teaching gratitude, all hidden behind Christmas cards and smiles. I waited for her to come home. She walked in, smiling, tired, rehearsed, started talking about groceries, about calls she didn't understand, why I wasn't answering. I placed the folder on the table, didn't open it. Didn't slide it toward her, just let it sit between us. She went quiet. I asked one question, a question I already knew the answer to. How long? Her mouth opened, closed. Her hands shook the way my mother-in-law's had. That was enough. I stood, picked up my coat, and said nothing else. That broke her. She followed me to the door, voice cracking, promises spilling out too fast to mean anything. She said she was pressured. She said it was temporary. She said she was trying to make everyone happy. She never said him. The real confrontation happened the next morning, at her parents' house. I walked in alone this time. They were ready. Coffee poured, faces tight. My mother-in-law spoke first. Controlled. Practiced. She called it family discipline. Said boys need structure. Said I was weak. I placed copies of the documents on the table. Bank records, messages, signed consent. Her husband stood up, sat back down. I told them I had already forwarded everything to a lawyer, and a counselor, and a mandated reporter who specialized in non-traditional abuse. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't threaten. I simply explained the process, how investigations work, how reputations dissolve, how quietly people disappear from polite society. My mother-in-law started crying. I watched. Then I said the last thing they would ever hear from me. You will never see him again. 3 days later came the calls, 47 of them, from my wife, from her parents, from numbers I didn't recognize. I blocked every single one. The house is quiet now. My son sleeps without flinching. He laughs louder. He doesn't ask permission to breathe. As for me, I didn't get justice. I got control. And that was enough. Some people think walking away means losing. They're wrong. It means you finally stop letting monsters sit at the table. And you never answer the phone again.